Thank All right, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome into Jammin' Sports on this Tuesday. We were not going to be on today, but our softball championship games down in Murfreesboro got rained out, so we are here. What we're going to do is we're going to have a baseball, football doubleheader for you here. We're going to continue with our Major League Baseball postseason, and then we'll start Week 14 of the NFL season. First up will be game number 3 of the National League Division Series between the LA Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks lead the best-of-5 series 2-0. In fact, the Diamondbacks can wrap things up tonight with a win over the Dodgers. And then when this game is over, we'll have the first game of Week 14 of our NFL season between the New England Patriots and the New York Jets. All right, looking at the brackets here in front of us, let's go over to the right side, the National League side. As just a recap, in the wild card, the Dodgers beat the Giants in the best-of-3, 2-1, and the Padres beat the Reds 2-0 in the other wild card. And now in the NLDS, the Miami Marlins lead the San Diego Padres 2-1 in that best-of-5, and the Arizona Diamondbacks lead the Dodgers 2-0 as we go into Game 3 here tonight. On the left side of the bracket, let's go over the American League as it stands right now. In the wild card, the A's beat the Red Sox in the wild card 2-0. They swept them, and the Yankees defeated the Indians 2-0 in those best-of-3s. In the ALDS, the Yankees have a commanding 2-0 lead over the Astros in that best-of-5, and the A's and the Royals are tied at 1 game apiece in that best-of-5 series. So that gets you up to date. As we head into Game 3 of the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks took both games 1 and 2 from the Dodgers in Arizona. And Game 3 will take us out to Dodger Stadium in Chavez Ravine in Los Angeles, California. And we'll have NFL football, Patriots and Jets when this one's over. All right, let's head out to Dodger Stadium for this one without further ado here at Jammin' Sports. Your lineups for tonight. Jammin' Sports presents Game 3 of the National League Division Series between the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Los Angeles Dodgers, live from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, California. The Diamondbacks lead this best-of-5 series 2-0 and can wrap it up today. NLDS Game 3 up next here at Jammin' Sports. All right, we go to the top of the first inning. Don Newcomb will be the starting pitcher for the Dodgers here in Game 3. If the Diamondbacks win, they advance to the National League Championship Series. The Dodgers have to win 3 in a row as they're behind the 8 ball. Ray Dandridge will lead things off for Arizona. He is the third baseman. And Game 3 is underway. Outside, ball 1, count goes to 1-0 to Ray Dandridge. Welcome into Jammin' Sports on this Tuesday. Our games down in Murfreesboro, Tennessee got rained out, so we're here tonight. Baseball, football doubleheader. Here's the 1-0, and that's ripped foul down the first baseline. And the count goes to 1-1 to Dandridge. Evil Dead will be joining us soon. Here's the 1-1. Hit high in the air, out to left field. Left fielder going back, and that one's not playable. It's gone. A solo shot home run by Ray Dandridge to start the game for the Diamondbacks, the third baseman. And Arizona leads it 1-0 here in the top of the first. Arizona off to a great start. Evil Dead's here. All right, Evil Dead. We're trying to get back into our baseball postseason. We went like 7 weeks without playing a baseball game. We're finally back. Juddy Johnson comes up next. He's the second baseman. Here's the pitch. That's hit high in the air. Out to center field. Duke Snyder goes back on the warning track. And Snyder makes the play for out number one. One down for Arizona. There's their starting lineup. Luis Gonzalez will come up next, the right fielder. It's been raining all day here in the Nashville area. Our games got rained out today. So that means they have to double up tomorrow. I'll explain more on that later. Luis Gonzalez up next. He's the right fielder for the Diamondbacks. He hits one high in the air. Out to right field. Pedro Guerrero makes the play. Boy, the Diamondbacks have been hitting a lot of long balls. Davis is in the house. Your Diamondbacks are playing. And now John Donaldson comes up. He's the DH for Arizona. 2 outs, bases empty. Arizona with a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first. They had a solo shot home run by Ray Dandridge to start the game. Pitch by Newcomb. Inside. And the count goes to 1-0. So a home run and 2 fly balls. And now John Donaldson comes up. And he fouls that one off. The count evens up at 1-1. We have the Patriots and the Jets after this. It's a baseball football doubleheader today. Here's the 1-1. Inside, 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Down low, 3-1. The count to John Donaldson. And now the 3-1 pitch by Newcomb. Up high. Ball 4. It'll be a 2-out walk. Donaldson is aboard. Cool Papa Bell. He's got my favorite name. The center fielder. They throw to first. Donaldson's back in time. Cool Papa Bell at the plate for the Diamondbacks. Pitch by Newcomb. In there for a strike. Count goes to 0-1. One of the Negro League players, Cool Papa Bell. Arizona has several of them on the roster. Here's the 0-1. And that's ripped to second. It gets into the center field. Coming around, Donaldson, he'll hold up at third. And that's a 2-out single for Papa Bell. And now the Diamondbacks have runners at first and third with 2 outs. And now Justin Upton comes up next. He's the first baseman. It'll be a ball. Count goes to 1-0. We're at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. The Diamondbacks have jumped out to a 1-0 lead here in Game 3. 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss. And that'll even the count at 1-1. One pitch. In there for a strike. 1-2. The Dodgers are the defending World Series champions. But if they don't win today, they'll be swept and they'll be gone. Struck him out. And that'll end the inning. However, the Diamondbacks, off a solo shot home run by Ray Dandridge, they take a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the first. National League Division Series Game 3 here at Jammin' Sports. On the mound for the Diamondbacks, Zach Galen. I think it's Galen. Zach Galen. Here in Game 3. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's Galen. And now Babe Herman will lead things off for the Dodgers. He's the DH today. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. The Diamondbacks have jumped out to a 1-0 lead on a solo shot home run in the first inning by Ray Dandridge. Now we're in the bottom of the first. Nobody out, nobody on. Here's the 0-1. Inside, 1-1 now to Herman. 1-1 pitch. In there for a strike. Count goes to 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Grounded off. Count remains at 1-2. Huddy's in the house. Also known as Hudson from Tampa. How you doing, Huddy? Here's the 1-2. Up high, 2-2. Huddy, how long have you been in Tampa now? You moved there about 5 months ago? Used to live in Atlanta. Here's the 2-2. Struck him out looking for out number 1 as Herman goes down. 1 down for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the first inning. Next up, Steve Garvey, the first baseman. Garvey rips one down the line but foul. And the count goes to 0-1. A year and 2 months. Okay, so 10 months. Wow, longer than I thought. Here's the 0-1. Garvey, big swing and a miss. Count quickly, 0-2. And now the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball. Second baseman makes the play. Juddy Johnson throws him out at first. 2 down for the Dodgers. There's the starting lineup. And Jackie Robinson, the second baseman, comes up next. Obviously, these are all-star teams. Made up of the best players. 2 outs, base is empty. First pitch to Robinson, up high, ball 1. Count goes to 1-0. One of my favorite players of all time, Jackie Robinson. Great movie if you ever watched 42. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. Count goes to 1-1. Game 3 of the National League Division Series. It's a best of 5. The Diamondbacks lead it 2-0. They can wrap it up today. Robinson fouls it off. Count goes to 1-2. On a bright sunny afternoon at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Here's the 1-2. Fouls it off, stays alive at the plate with a 1-2 count. And now Galen, the 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. He dropped the ball. He's got to throw to first for the out. At the end of 1 complete, the Diamondbacks lead it by a score of 1-0 here in Game 3 of the NLDS here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the top of the second inning. Pop Lloyd will lead things off, the shortstop for Arizona. Don Newcomb still on the mound. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. Huddy has the show 25. He's got a copy of that. He says he likes it. Here's the 0-1. Big swing and a miss. And the count quickly, 0-2 to Pop Lloyd. And now the 0-2 pitch. Outside, count goes to 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Outside, they'll even the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, nobody on. Lloyd at the plate. And now the 2-2 pitch. Fouls that one off. Stays alive with a 2-2 count. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on an inside pitch. Struck him out One down for Arizona here in the top of the second. Our StatCast looking at these pitches, which one were in the zone, which one were not. In the other NLDS, the Marlins lead the Padres 2-1. Ted Ratcliffe comes up next. He's the catcher. In there for a strike. Count goes to 0-1. Diamondbacks up 1-0 here in the top of the second. One out, bases empty. 0-1 pitch. In there for a strike. Count goes to 0-2. And now the 0-2 pitch.
One ball,
down low.
2 strikes.
Count goes to 1-2 to Radcliffe. 1-2 pitch. Fouls that one off. Stays alive with a 1-2 count. And now the 1-2 pitch by Newcomb. Grounds that out. Foul down the line. Count remains at 1-2. Staying alive at the plate with a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Up high. Count evens up at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases empty. 2-2 pitch. And that's popped up down the right field line, but out of play. Guerrero couldn't quite get to it. Count remains at 2-2. 2-2 pitch. And that's ripped foul down the third base line. It's a long at bat for Ted Radcliffe. Count remains at 2-2 with 1 out. 2-2 pitch. Inside. Full count now, 3-2. Full count, 3-2. Pitch by Newcomb. And that's right to say at third base. Throws to first for the out. Radcliffe will ground out to third. Ron Say playing third base for the Dodgers today. And now Ketel Marte comes up next. He's the left fielder with 2 outs, bases empty. Pitch by Newcomb. In there for a strike. Count goes to 0-1. No balls and a strike, 2 outs, bases empty. Here's the pitch. Up high. And that'll even the count at 1-1. 1-1 pitch. High in the air, out to left. And Herman couldn't quite get to it, but it goes foul. And the count goes to 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Down low. Count evens up at 2-2 to Ketel Marte. And now the 2-2 pitch. Inside, full count now, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Popped it up, out of play. Count remains at 3-2 to Marte. Three-two pitch. High in the air. Out to right center field. Guerrero going back. And that one has gone yard. It's a solo shot home run by Ketel Marte. Just over the right center field wall. And the Diamondbacks take a 2-0 lead. Arizona has jumped out to a 2-0 lead here in Game 3. They can sweep the Dodgers today with a win. Let's watch this one again. On a 3-2 pitch, he hits it out of here. Just cleared the fence. Go to the top of the order. Ray Dandridge, the third baseman, comes up. 2 outs, bases empty. Took a big swing and miss. Strike 1. No balls and a strike to Dandridge. 0-1 pitch. Fouls that one off quickly. 0-2 to Dandridge. No balls, 2 strikes. Base is empty. Here's the pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains at 0-2.
Nope.
Down low, count goes to 1-2 to Dandridge.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
And now the 1-2 by Newcomb. Ripped right to the second baseman. That's Robinson. Throws to first for the out. So another solo shot, this time by Ketel Marte. And the Diamondbacks take a 2-0 lead on the Dodgers here in Game 3 of the NLDS here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the bottom of the second. Duke Snyder will lead things off for the Dodgers. The center fielder. Zach Galen still on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. And now the 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, 0-2.
No ball, 2 strikes.
And now the 0-2 to Snyder.
Ball 1.
Up high. Be a ball. Count goes to 1-2.
2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out, nobody on for the Dodgers. Here at the bottom of the second, trailing 2-0. 1-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Stays alive with a 1-2 count. One-two pitch. Down to third. Dandridge making the play. Throws to first for the out. So Snyder grounds out to third. 1 down for the the Dodgers. Here in the bottom of the second. And now Corey Seager comes up next. He's the shortstop today. Here's the pitch. Down low, 1-0. Down low again. Count goes to 2-0 to Seager. 1 out, base is empty for the Dodgers. Here at the bottom of the second, trailing 2-0. 2-0 pitch. Ripped foul down the first baseline. Count goes to 2-1. Two-one pitch. Inside. 3-1.
3 balls, 1 strike.
And now the 3-1 to Seager. Rips that one into right center field, a base hit. It'll be a 1-out single for Corey Seager. And the Dodgers have a runner aboard at first base with 1 out. And now the DH, Cody Bellinger, comes up. One out, runner on first. Here's the pitch. Popped up in the air. Left fielder coming in, Marte, makes the play. Ketel Marte for out number 2. Seager will stay at first base. 2 down for the Dodgers. And now Pedro Guerrero, the right fielder, will come up. 2 outs with a runner on first. Pitch by Guerrero. Fouled it off down the third baseline. Count goes to 0-1. 0-1 pitch.
Ball, that pitch is out.
Outside. Count goes to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner on first base. And now the 1-1 pitch to Guerrero. Fouls that one off down the first base line. And the count remains at 1-2. One-two pitch. Fouls it off, stays alive at 1-2. They throw to first. Seager gets back in time. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Seager at first base. 1-2 pitch.
Three.
Called strike 3, and that'll end the inning. At the end of 2 complete, the Diamondbacks lead the Dodgers 2-0 in Game 3 of the NLDS here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. Juddy Johnson will lead things off, the second baseman, facing Don Newcomb. Here's the pitch.
Hey.
Big swing and a miss, strike 1.
0-1.
Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles is where we are. Here's the pitch. Fouls it off. Count quickly 0-2 to Johnson. And now the 0-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Struck him out on 3 pitches. 1 down for Arizona here in the top of the 3rd. Luis Gonzalez will come up next. The right fielder for the Diamondbacks. 1 out, bases empty. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1.
0-1's the count.
Oh, 1 pitch.
Ball, that's off the plate.
Outside. Count goes to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bases empty. Here's the 1-1.
Ball 2.
Down low. 2-1. 2-1 pitch to Gonzalez. Popped up in the air. Out to left field. Off the wall. Babe Herman fields it. Throws it in. It'll be a double for Luis Gonzalez. Very nearly a home run. Off the wall. Babe Herman couldn't get to it in time. Man, that was close to another home run. It'll be a 1-out double for Luis Gonzalez. And now John Donaldson will come up. He's the DH for Arizona today. 1 out, runner on second base. Here's the pitch. And that's ripped down the line, foul. And the count goes to 0-1. No balls and a strike. Gonzalez taking a lead at second base. Next pitch, swung on for strike 2. And the count goes to 0-2 to John Donaldson. 0-2 pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Low and outside. Count goes to 1-2. Gonzalez taking a lead at second. 1-2 pitch. Fouls that off. Count remains at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Gonzalez at second. Here's the pitch. Fouls it off. Stays alive with a 1-2 count. They're fouling it off a lot in this game so far. Both pitchers have pitched a lot of pitches. 1-2 pitch. Fouled it off again. Count remains at 1-2. One-two pitch. Inside. That'll even the count at 2-2 to Donaldson. Here at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. 2-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Donaldson really battling here at the plate. Counts at 2-2. Gonzalez taking a lead at second. 2-2 pitch. Swung at a bad pitch. Fouled it off. Count remains at 2-2. Two-two pitch. Fouls it off again. It's a long at bat for Donaldson. 10 pitches. Count remains at 2-2. Newcomb trying to put him away. Here's the 2-2. Ripped down the third base line into left field, a base hit. Are they going to send him home? The throw home not in time as Gonzalez scores from second. Donaldson ends up on second base with a double and an RBI And the Diamondbacks lead it by a score of 3-0 now. Here in the top of the third inning. A one-out double for Donaldson. 3-0 Diamondbacks. Still one out. Cool Papa Bell comes up. He fouls that one off. The center fielder. Back in the day, baseball had a lot of colorful names. They've lost that. Counts at 0-1 to Bell. 0-1 pitch. Down low. Evens the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out. Runner on second base. That's Donaldson. Pitch to Bell. Fouls it off. Diamondbacks are good at fouling off pitches. And now the 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Rung him up. 2 down for the Diamondbacks here in the top of the third. That was a good pitch. Dell goes down. Next up, Justin Upton, the first baseman today. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. 2 outs, runner on second. That's Donaldson at second base for the Diamondbacks. Counts at 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch to Upton. Up high, evens the count at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner on second. 1-1 pitch. Inside, 2-1. Newcomb trying to get out of the inning without giving up another run. 2-1 pitch. Fouls it off. That'll even the count at 2-2. Donaldson taking the lead at second. 2-2 pitch. Outside. Full count, 3-2. Beautiful day here in LA. 3-2 pitch now to Upton. Fouls it off. Stays alive with a 3-2 pitch or 3-2 count. Been a long half inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Ripped into left. Babe Herman will make the play for the final out. However, the Diamondbacks score 1. John Donaldson, an RBI double. And the Diamondbacks take a 3-0 lead here in Game 3 of the NLDS here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Will Smith will come up. He's the catcher for Los Angeles. Zach Gallen still on the mound. Diamondbacks up 3-0. First pitch in there for a strike. Count goes to 0-1. The Dodgers have to win or they're eliminated. And the Diamondbacks move on. Here's the 0-1. And that's ripped foul down the line. It's a best-of-5 series. And the Diamondbacks lead it 2-0. Here's the 0-2. Inside pitch popped up. And Dandridge comes over in foul territory. And makes the play. Smith will pop out to third. 1 down for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the third. Down 3-0. Ron Say, the third baseman, comes up. Pitch by Galen. Yeah, it's good. Oh, wow. I was about to call that a strike. It was a ball. Count goes to 1-0. 1-0 pitch. Popped it up. Left fielder coming in. That's Marte. And makes the play. For out number 2, Ron Say flies out to left. 2 down for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the third inning. And now Babe Herman, the left fielder, comes up. The pitch. Down low, 1-0. 2 outs, bases empty for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the third inning. 1-0 pitch. Up high. Count goes to 2-0.
No strikes.
2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. 2-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss, strike 1.
2 balls.
He
1
took a
strike.
big cut on that one. Count goes to 2-1. 2-1 pitch. High fly ball down the third base line, out of play. And that'll even the count at 2-2. Galen trying to make this a 1-2-3 inning. 2-2 pitch.
We got full count.
Full count. Ball was outside at 3-2. And Al Herman. 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains at 3-2. Full count, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And that's way outside. Ball 4. It'll be a 2-out walk for Babe Herman.
Now batting.
And now the first baseman, Steve Garvey, will come up. 2 outs, runner on first. Diamondbacks up 3-0. They throw to first. Herman's back in time. Maybe Evil Dead can tell us when Babe Herman played. I've been trying to figure it out. Here's the pitch. Popped up in the air, down the first base line. That's drifting foul. And the count goes to 0-1 to Garvey. Herman at first base, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swung on an outside pitch. Count goes to 0-2 to Garvey. And now the 0-2.
1 ball.
Outside.
2
Count
strikes.
goes to 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on first base. One-two pitch. Garvey rips one into left or center field. That'll be a base hit. Back-to-back singles for the Dodgers with 2 outs, and now they have runners at first and second. Herman at second, Garvey at first, and Jackie Robinson, the second baseman, will come up. Let's see what Jackie can do here. If he hits a home run, he can tie up the ball game. Herman takes the lead at second. Pitch by Galen. Inside.
Back inside.
Brushes him off the plate. Count goes to 1-0. One-0 pitch. In there for a strike. They'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike to Jackie Robinson. And now the 1-1. Robinson hits one high in the air into shallow left field. Coming in to make the play is Marte for the final out. The Dodgers threaten but do not score. At the end of 3, the Diamondbacks lead at 3-0 here in Game 3 of the NLDS here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the top of the 4th. Pop Lloyd will lead things off for Arizona, the shortstop. Diamondbacks up 3-0. Don Newcomb still on the mound. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch. Up high, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 pitch to Lloyd. Fouls it off. Count goes to 1-2. Diamondbacks up 3-0 here in Game 3 of the NLDS. 1-2 pitch. Did he go around? No. It'll be a ball. That'll even the count at 2-2. Two-two pitch. Fouls it off. Into the Dodger dugout. Count remains at 2-2 to Pop Lloyd, the shortstop. 2-2 pitch. Outside. Full count now, 3-2. 3-2 pitch. Popped up. Say comes running over in foul territory. And Ron Say will make the play for out number 1. So Pop Lloyd pops out to the third baseman.
Number 2.
One down for the Diamondbacks here in the top of the fourth inning. Ted Radcliffe will come up next. The third base, or excuse me, this is the catcher. Radcliffe is the catcher. One out, base is empty. In there for a strike, 0-1.
0-1's the count.
0-1 pitch. And that's fouled off. Counts at 0-2. Oh-2 pitch. Swung and struck him out for out number 2 as Radcliffe took a big swing. 2 down for Arizona here in the top of the fourth. And now Ketel Marte, the left fielder, comes up. Facing Don Newcomb. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch.
Oh, that's it.
Inside. They'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs. Bases empty. Diamondbacks up 3-0. Here's the 1-1 pitch. In there for a strike. Count goes to 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to short. Seager throws to first. Not in time. The speedy Marte beats out the throw. Great play by Seager at short. Corey Seager. But Marte very fast down the line. It'll be an infield single. A 2-out single for the Diamondbacks. Well, he beat that by a mile. Cool, CGM. I might pick it up after I do this. Here's the thing, I was in the middle of this when 25 came out. Here's the pitch. Dandridge, the third baseman, he had a home run back in the first inning. And the count goes to 1-0. We're in game 3 of the best of 5 series. NLDS, and the Diamondbacks lead it 2-0. They can wrap it up today. Here's the 1-0. And that's fouled off, and the count goes to 1-1. But CGM has joined us. Our good friend from DC. CGM from DC. It's a lot of letters in that sentence. Here's the 1-1. Fouled it off. Misty says hi, CGM. Count goes to 1-2 to Ray Dandridge. And the 1-2. And Misty says hi to everybody else as well. Evil Dead's here. Huddy was here for a while. Davis is here. CGM says hi, Misty. And that's a base hit into right field. Guerrero will throw it in. So Dandridge, a 2-out single. And that moves the other runner over to second base. And now the Diamondbacks have runners at first and second with 2 outs. And Juddy Johnson comes up next, the second baseman. Here's the pitch by Newcomb. Popped it up, out of play, strike 1. Yeah, I hear that 25 is outstanding. But I'm in the middle of this season. I don't want to switch. Here's the 0-1. Outside, a pitch out. They don't take the bait. We got Belcher and Yamamoto warming up in the bullpen for the Dodgers. I had to look at that name to make sure I pronounced it right. Here's the 1-1 to Johnson. Ground ball, first base line, foul. The count goes to 1-2 to Johnson. Newcomb trying to get out of the inning without giving up a run. 2 outs, runners at first and second. 1-2 pitch. Fouled it off. Johnson stays alive at the plate. Got a good crowd here on this Tuesday. Our games today got rained out, so I'm here. Outside, 2-2. We'll start week 14 of the NFL season after this game. We'll have the Patriots and the Jets as we kick off week 14. Here's the 2-2. Fouled it off. Count remains at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Marte at second base. 2-2 pitch. Up high, but he swung at it. Struck him out. At the end of 3.5, the Diamondbacks lead the Dodgers 3-0. Game 3 of the National League Division Series here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the Dodger half of the fourth. Duke Snyder, the center fielder, will lead things off, facing Zach Gallen. And now the pitch to Snyder. In there for a strike, 0-1.
0-1.
Diamondbacks trying to wrap it up, sweep the Dodgers if they can win today. Here's the 0-1. Down low, 1-1. The other NLDS, the Marlins lead the Padres 2-1. Here's the 1-1. Right up the middle, back to Gallen. He'll throw to first for easy out. Snyder grounds out to the pitcher, 1 down.
The batter, number 5.
Next up, the shortstop, Corey Seager. 1 out, bases empty. Dodgers need some offense. In there for a strike, 0-1. Oh, 0-1 pitch. Fouls it off quickly, 0-2 to Seager. Behind in the count. So we got Evil Dad, Sports Davis, CGM in the house. Here's the 0-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Inside, 1-2. Misty's here. And now the 1-2 pitch. Oh, it hit him. It'll be a walk for Seager. So now the Dodgers with a runner on first. And the DH comes up next, Cody Bellinger. A pitch out. Seager going for second, and he's safe. And now the Dodgers trying to generate some offense. They have a runner on second with 1 out. Runner in scoring position. The pitch was a ball to Bellinger. Counts 1-0. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. They'll even the count at 1-1. Cody Bellinger, the DH for the Dodgers here today. Counts at 1-1. Seager taking a lead at second. 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. Two-one pitch. Big swing and a miss. That'll even the count at 2-2. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Diamondbacks up 3-0. 2-2 pitch. Ripped foul down the third base line. Count remains at 2-2. And now the 2-2. Up high, full count now to Bellinger at 3-2. Gallen's been throwing a lot of pitches. And now the 3-2. Ripped to the third baseman. Dandridge makes the play for the out. It'll be a sacrifice. That'll move Seager over to second. 2 down now for the Dodgers in the bottom of the fourth. Right fielder Pedro Guerrero comes up. Seager now at second base. The pitch to Guerrero outside, 1-0. Got a good crowd here on this Tuesday for our baseball game. We have NFL action up next. Here's the 1-0. Inside, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Seager at second. 2-0 pitch. Fouled it off. Count goes to 2-1. Gallen on the mound. Here's the 2-1. In there for a strike on the outside corner. Count goes to 2-2 to Pedro Guerrero. 2-2 pitch. Ripped into right field, the base hit. Seager's coming around. He'll score from second. as Guerrero has himself a 2-out double. A 2-out double with an RBI, and the Dodgers get on the board. Diamondbacks lead it now 3-1. An opposite field double for Guerrero. That scores Seager from second base. And now it's 3-1 Diamondbacks. Will Smith comes up next. He's the catcher. Here's the pitch.
1-0.
In the dirt. And Guerrero will stay at second base. The count goes to 1-0. So the Dodgers finally get on the board here in the bottom of the fourth inning. It's 3-1 Diamondbacks. Smith at the plate with a 1-0 count. Smith can tie it up with one swing of the bat. Fouls it off. And that evens the count at 1-1. Guerrero taking the lead at second. 1-1 pitch. Popped it up, out of play. Count goes to 1-2. Galen trying to get out of the inning. Counts at 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Swung and struck him out. At the end of 4, the Dodgers, off an RBI double by Pedro Guerrero, get on the board, but the Diamondbacks lead it 3-1 here in Game 3 of the NLDS here at Jammin' Sports. We move along to the top of the 5th inning. Luis Gonzalez, the right fielder, will lead things off for Arizona. They lead it 3-1. Don Newcomb still on the mound for the Dodgers. In the top of the 5th inning, 3-1 Arizona. Here's the pitch. See ya. That's deep, but I don't think it's playable. A solo shot by Luis Gonzalez. And the Diamondbacks take a 4-1 lead on the Dodgers. You kind of knew it when he hit it. So the Diamondbacks go back up by 3 runs. Let's watch this one again. Not quite dead center, but long enough. And I think Newcomb knew it too. We all did. And the Diamondbacks lead it now 4-1 here in the top of the 5th. John Donaldson will come up next. The DH. Inside 1-0. One ball, no strikes, nobody out, nobody on here in the top of the 5th. 4-1 Diamondbacks. Here's the 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike. That'll leave the count at 1-1. One pitch. Did it go around? Yes. 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Counts 1-2 to John Donaldson. 1-2 pitch. Struck him out looking for out number 1. One down for the Diamondbacks here in the top of the 5th. Coming up next, Cool Papa Bell, the center fielder. I love his name. As we watch the strikeout again, Bell comes up, the center fielder. 1 out, bases empty. Here's the pitch by Newcomb. In there for a strike, 0-1. Bell will step back in. Counts at 0-1. 0-1 pitch. Down low, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, bases empty. The 1-1 pitch. Fouls it off. Count goes to 1-2. And now the 1-2 pitch. In the dirt. That'll even the count at 2-2. 2-2 pitch by Newcomb. Fouled off. Count remains at 2-2. We're in the top of the 5th. Diamondbacks lead it 4-1. One out, bases empty. Counts 2-2 to Bell. And now the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to Robinson at second. Scoops it up, throws to first for the out. So Bell grounds out to second for out number 2. 2 down for the Diamondbacks in the top of the 5th. And now Justin Upton comes up next, the first baseman. Pitch by Newcomb. Big swing and a miss, strike 1.
0-1's the count.
Count goes to 0-1. 0-1 pitch. And that's ripped down the line and foul. And the count goes to 0-2 to Upton. Oh, 2 pitch.
Ball.
Down low, count goes to 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. Diamondbacks up 4-1. Another 1-2 pitch. Swung and struck him out. At the end of 4 1/2, the Diamondbacks lead it 4-1 off of Luis Gonzalez solo shot home run to start the inning. Here in Game 3 of the NLDS here at Jammin' Sports. Welcome back to Dodger Stadium. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Excuse me. Ron Say will lead things off for the Dodgers, the third baseman. Say to short. Making the play at short is Pop Lloyd. And Say grounds out for out number 1.
Now batting, left fielder, Babe Herman.
Next up, the left fielder, Babe Herman. 1 out, bases empty for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch. Inside, 1-0. And now the 1-0 pitch. Popped up in the air into shallow center. That will drop for a base hit. It'll be a 1-out bloop single for Babe Herman as he gets aboard here at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles on a beautiful afternoon. And now first baseman Steve Garvey comes up. 1 out, runner on first. Herman at first base. Here's the pitch.
Ball 1, no.
Outside, ball 1. Garvey steps back in, counts 1-0. The pitch in there for a strike on the outside corner. Count goes to 1-1. One pitch. Garvey pops it up out into right field, going back, making the play. In right is Gonzalez. And that'll be out number 2. They keep Herman at first base. 2 down for the Dodgers. Luis Gonzalez making the play in right field. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I still have an allergy cough going on. Second baseman Jackie Robinson comes up with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch by Galen. There goes Herman down to second. He's safe. Now the Dodgers with a runner on second with 2 outs. Robinson at the plate. The pitch was a strike. The count goes to 0-1. And now the pitch by Galen. Big swing and a miss. Count 0-2 now to Robinson. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second base. That's Herman. Here's the 0-2. Struck him out. He'll have to throw it out at first. And that'll end the inning. After 5 complete, the Diamondbacks lead it 4-1. NLDS Game 3 here at Jammin' Sports. Tim Belcher will come on to pitch for the Dodgers now here in the top of the 6th inning.
Number 50, Tim Belcher.
Excuse me. Apologize for that. Pop Lloyd will lead things off, the shortstop.
Number 6.
for Arizona. They lead it 4-1 here in the top of the 6th. Trying to wrap up the series today. Pitch by Belcher. Outside, 1-0. One-0 pitch. Inside, 2-0. Broxton and Martinez warming up in the bullpen for the Dodgers. Counts 2-0 to Belcher. 2-0 pitch. Pops it up out of play. Count goes to 2-1. We have thunderstorms moving through the Nashville area right now. Here's the 2-1. Out of play. They'll even the count at 2-2. If you don't know already, the Jammin' Sports Studios are in Nashville. Here's the 2-2. Outside, 3-2, full count to Pop Lloyd. Man, I wish I could kick this cough. And now the 3-2 pitch. Blooper. Belcher will throw to first in time. That was off the handle of the bat. And so Lloyd will ground out to the pitcher for out number 1. Ted Radcliffe will come up next. He's the catcher. 1 out, bases empty. The pitch. Fouled it off. Count goes to 0-1. Thank you for the tea, guys. Here's the 0-1. Up high, 1-1. Misty brought me some tea. That was very nice of her. And Gracie did too. Here's the 1-1. In the dirt. Count goes to 2-1 to Radcliffe. 4-1. Diamondbacks lead it here in the top of the 6th. Off the handle of the bat, down the third base line, hooking foul. They'll even the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases empty. 2-2 pitch. And that's fouled off. Count remains at 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Struck him out for out number 2. And now Ketel Marte comes up. Back in the 2nd inning. Here's what Marte did. He hit one out of here. Into right center field. And now he comes up with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. He's the left fielder for the Diamondbacks. First pitch a strike. Count goes to 0-1. Tim Belcher on the mound for the Dodgers. Here's the 0-1. Fouled it off. Count goes to 0-2. And now the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. Seager throws to first for the out. At the end of 5.5, the Diamondbacks lead it 4-1. Game 3 of the NLDS here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Center fielder Duke Snyder will lead things off for the Dodgers. Dodgers trying to stave off elimination here. Galen's still on the mound. First pitch up high, ball 1. Count goes to 1-0. And now the 1-0 pitch. Fouls it off. Evens the count at 1-1. One pitch. Right up the middle. That'll be a base hit for Snyder to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. Dodgers trying to get back in this game, down by 3 runs. A leadoff single for Snyder. Let's watch this one again. And now the shortstop, Corey Seager, will come up. Nobody out, runner on first. The pitch,
Count
down
1-0.
low, 1-0. The count goes to 1-0. Nobody out, runner on first. That's Snyder at first base. 1-0 pitch, and that's ripped down the line, foul ball. That'll even the count at 1-1. And now the 1-1 pitch. Did he go around?
Did he go?
Yes, he did. Count goes to 1-2 to Seager, the shortstop. And now the 1-2 pitch popped up. Third baseman comes in making the play. That would be Dandridge for out number 1. So Seager pops out to the third. One down for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the 6th.
Bellinger.
And now the DH comes up, Cody Bellinger. One out, runner on first base. That's Duke Snyder at first. The pitch by Bellinger, or pitch to Bellinger, gets fouled off. The count goes to 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch. Outside, there goes the runner, and he's safe. Snyder with a stolen base. So the Dodgers with a runner in scoring position now with 1 out. A foot first slide. You don't see those very often anymore. The count to Bellinger is now 1-1. 1-1 pitch. Fouls that one off. And the count goes to 1-2. Dodgers trying to rally. They're down by 3. If they lose, they're eliminated. And the Diamondbacks move on. Up high, 2-2. Well, it's really coming down outside. Looking into the backyard, it's coming down. And now the 2-2 pitch. Fouls that one off. Count remains at 2-2 to Cody Bellinger. Snyder leading off at second base. 2-2 pitch. Fouled it off. Stays alive with a 2-2 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on second. That's Duke Snyder at second base. 2-2 pitch. In the dirt, full count, 3-2. Three-two pitch. Outside, ball 4. And the Dodgers have runners at first and second with 1 out. Pedro Guerrero comes up next. He can tie the game up with 1 swing of the bat right here. The right fielder. 1 out, runners at first and second. The pitch by Galen. Guerrero hits one high into left field. Going back is Marte, and that one's gone. A 3-run shot by Pedro Guerrero. It's a whole new ball game. We're tied at 4 here in Game 3 of the NLDS. A 3-run shot by Pedro Guerrero. And NLDS Game 3 is tied at 4 here in the bottom of the 6th. He got a hold of that one. I think Galen may be coming out here soon. Right over the left field fence into the bleachers over there. Yep, they're going to bring Galen out. They've had enough. Let's see who the Diamondbacks bring in now. Their 4-0 lead is now gone, or 4-1 lead. New pitcher for Arizona will be Merrill Kelly. Make that Merrill Kelly. Next up for the Dodgers, Will Smith, the catcher. We're now tied at 4, 1 out. Base is empty. Pitch is going to be a ball. Count goes to 1-0. A 3-run shot by Pedro Guerrero ties the game up. And now the pitch to Smith counts 1-0. Outside 2-0.
2-0.
Dodgers trying to force a game 4. Here's the 2-0. He rips that one foul. And the count goes to 2-1 to Will Smith. And now the 2-0 or 2-1 in there for a strike. That'll even the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases empty. Two-two pitch. Fouls it off, stays alive with a 2-2. Man, my sinuses are just draining big time. And now the 2-2.
3-2.
Inside, full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Will Smith. 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. He strikes out. 2 down for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Let's watch that one again. Struck him out looking. Oh, that was in there. And now the third baseman, Ron Say, comes up. 2 outs, bases empty. The pitch. Ripped it foul down the third base line. Counts at 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch. Fouls that one off down the first base line. And the count goes to 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. 0-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains at 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch. Up high. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1-2 pitch. Fouls it off down the first base line. Count remains at 1-2. One-two pitch.
Ball 2.
Down low and outside. Count goes to 2-2 to Ron Say. Two-two pitch. Fouls it off. Stays alive at 2-2. Two-two pitch.
Count 4.
Outside. Full count at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. There'll be a 2-out walk as the Dodgers have a man aboard. Ron Say at first base.
Now back.
Babe Herman comes up next, the left fielder.
Herman.
They keep the inning going. And they throw to first. Say's back in time. Merrill Kelly on the mound for the Diamondbacks. The pitch to Herman. In there for a strike, 0-1. 0-1, 2 outs, runner on first. That's Say. 0-1 pitch. And that's ripped foul. Count quickly 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch. Inside. And it's going to be a bloop single in the right field. And they're going to hold up Say at second base. It'll be a 2-out single for Herman. And now the Dodgers with runners at first and second with 2 outs. Just saw a flash of lightning outside. And now Steve Garvey, the first baseman, comes up. 2 outs, runners at first and second. Pitch by Garvey, or to Garvey, in there for a strike, 0-1. This is why our ball games today in Murfreesboro got rained out. They'll play them tomorrow. We'll have to play 2 games tomorrow. Here's the 0-1. In there for a strike. If they were to lose both, they'd be done. But either way, they're going to have to play 2 games tomorrow, one way or the other. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Outside, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Garvey at the plate. One-two pitch. Garvey fouls it off down the third base line. Stays alive with a 1-2 count. This bottom of the 6th has taken a long time. 1-2 pitch. Popped it up. Second baseman comes in. That's Juddy Johnson. And makes the play for the final out. At the end of 6, Pedro Guerrero with a 3-run shot ties the game up at 4. NLDS Game 3 here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the top of the 7th inning here at Dodger Stadium. Ray Dandridge, the third baseman, comes up. He started the game off with a home run for the Diamondbacks. We're tied at 4. Tim Belcher still on the mound for Los Angeles. First pitch in there for a strike. And the count goes to 0-1. 0-1 pitch. Down low, 1-1. And now the 1-1. Dandridge, that's going to be his second home run of the day. Boy, that's a blast. A solo shot. And the Diamondbacks go up 5-4. He led off the game with a solo shot. And he starts the 7th inning with a solo shot. And it's 5-4 Diamondbacks here in the top of the 7th. He got all of that one. He ripped that one out to left field. Let's watch this one again. Where did that one land? I think it landed in San Diego. Juddy Johnson comes up next. He's the second baseman. In there for a strike, 0-1. Still nobody out for the Diamondbacks here in the top of the 7th. They now lead at 5-4. Oh, 1 pitch. Inside, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out, nobody on. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-2. 1-2 pitch. He went around, struck him out. 1 down for the Diamondbacks here in the top of the 7th. Evil Dead, are you here? Can you take care of that? I'll take care of it myself. Next up, Luis Gonzalez, the right fielder. Inside, 1-0. 1 out, bases empty for Arizona here in the top of the 7th. They lead at 5-4. And now the 1-0 pitch. Up high, 2-0.
2 balls, no strikes.
2-0 pitch. Outside, 3-0. And now the 3-0 by Belcher. And that's ripped foul down the first base line. Count goes to 3-1 to Luis Gonzalez. 3-1 pitch. And that's fouled off. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Gonzalez. And now the 3-2 pitch. High in the air, out to center field. Duke Snyder getting under it. And Snyder makes, oh, it's off the wall. He mistimed it. And Gonzalez going for 3. He got greedy. They'll give Gonzalez a double, and then he gets thrown out at third. Oh, he got greedy. Nice throw from the outfield. And now Tom Donaldson will come up with 2 outs, bases empty. Donaldson, the DH. Inside, 1-0. Gonzalez Tried to get that extra base, and he got thrown out. So 2 outs, bases empty. Counts 1-0 to Donaldson. And the 1-0 pitch. Fouls off. Evens the count at 1-1. One pitch. That's ripped foul. And the count goes to 1-2. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swung and struck him out, and that'll end the inning. However, Ray Dandridge, a solo shot, and the Diamondbacks retake the lead 5-4 here in Game 3 of the NLDS here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Jackie Robinson, the second baseman, will lead things off for the Dodgers, trailing by a run. Merrill Kelly still on the mound. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. You got Kim and Valverde warming up with the bullpen for the Diamondbacks. Counts 0-1 to Robinson. Strike 2. And the count's 0-2. We have NFL football after this. Patriots and the Jets will kick off Week 14. Here's the 0-2. And Robinson goes down on 3 pitches. Took a big swing and missed. 1 down for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the 7th.
Now batting, center fielder, Duke Snyder.
And now the center fielder, Duke Snyder, will come up. 1 out, bases empty for the Dodgers. Down by 1, 5-4 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Pitch by Kelly. In there for a strike, 0-1. And now the 0-1 pitch. Fouls that off down the third base line. Count quickly 0-2 to Duke Snyder. And now the 0-2 pitch. In the dirt. Gets by the catcher, nobody on base. Counts at 1-2 now. And now the 1-2 pitch. Inside. That'll even the count at 2-2. You got Kelly on the left, Snyder on the right. The old split screen. You got to like those. And now the 2-2. Fouled off. Count remains at 2-2 to Duke Snyder. 2-2 pitch. Inside. Full count now, 3-2. Dodgers trying to get something going. They're down by a run here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 3-2 pitch. Fouled it off. Stays alive at 3-2. Three-two pitch. Struck him out looking for out number 2.
Number 5.
And now Corey Seager, the shortstop, will come up with 2 outs, bases empty. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Diamondbacks up 5-4. Here's the pitch. Outside, 1-0. And now the 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike. They'll even the count at 1-1. 1-1 pitch. Fouls it off. Count goes to 1-2 to Corey Seager, the shortstop. And now the 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. And the 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. At the end of 7 complete, the Diamondbacks lead at 5-4 here in Game 3 of the NLDS here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Cool Papa Bell, the center fielder, will come up facing Tim Belcher, who's still on the mound for the Dodgers here in the 8th inning. 5-4 Diamondbacks. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. Counts at 0-1 to Bell. 0-1 pitch. Bell fouls it off quickly, 0-2. And now the 0-2 pitch. Fouls that one off down the third base line. Count remains at 0-2 to Cool Papa. Cool Papa Bell. 0-2 pitch. A check swing, fouls it off down the first base line. Off the handle of the bat. Count remains at 0-2 to Bell. 0-2 pitch. Inside. Count goes to 1-2. One-two pitch. High in the air, down the right field line. Guerrero comes over and can't make the play. It'll drop. He caught it on the first bounce. And that'll be a leadoff single for Bell here in the 8th inning for the Diamondbacks. It just dropped in front of Guerrero in right field. And now Justin Upton will come up next, the first baseman. There goes Bell down the second. And they got him. Great throw by Will Smith. They get Cool Papa Bell at second. One down for the Diamondbacks here in the top of the 8th. Great throw by Smith, right on the money to Robinson, who gets him at second base. The pitch was a ball to Upton. The count's 1-0. Here's the pitch. Up high, 2-0. So one out for Arizona with bases empty here in the top of the 8th. Here's the 2-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 2-1. 2 balls and a strike, one out, bases empty. 2-1 pitch. Inside, 3-1. And now the 3-1 pitch. Up high. And that'll be ball 4. It'll be a 1-out walk for Upton. So the Diamondbacks with the runner on first, 1 out. And now Pop Lloyd, the shortstop, will come up next. We're in the top of the 8th. Diamondbacks up 5-4, 1 out, runner on first. Lloyd at first base. They throw to first. Lloyd gets back in time. Belcher looks in. Here's the pitch. Down low, 1-0.
Count 1-0.
1-0 pitch. Popped up in the air. Down the third base line, out of play. That'll even the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Lloyd at first. Here's the 1-1. Up high, 2-1. That looked like a strike to me. That was about shoulder high strike. That's a tight strike zone. And now the 2-1 pitch to Lloyd. Popped it up. Ron Say in foul territory. Makes the play for the Dodgers, 2 down. So Lloyd pops out to third.
Now batting, number 2.
And Ted Radcliffe will come up next. Radcliffe, the catcher. 2 outs with a runner on first base. The pitch. Big swing and a miss. Strike 1. And the count goes to 0-1. Belcher trying to get out of the inning here. Diamondbacks up 5-4. Oh, 0-1 pitch.
Nope, that's
Down low. Count goes to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner on first. Here's the 1-1. In there for a strike, 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Counts at 1-2 to Radcliffe. 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2.
2 strikes.
They'll even the count. 2-2 pitch. Swung and struck him out. At the end of 7.5, the Diamondbacks lead the Dodgers 5-4 here in Game 3 of the NLDS here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Jose Valverde will come out to pitch for the Diamondbacks here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And leading off for the Dodgers, their DH, Cody Bellinger, here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Dodgers down by 1. The pitch by Valverde, in there for a strike, 0-1. Dodgers trail by 1. The 0-1 pitch, fouled it off. And Bellinger now with an 0-2 count. No balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 pitch. Rips that one foul down the first base line. Count remains at 0-2. And now the 0-2 pitch. Up high. 1-2 to Cody Bellinger. One ball, 2 strikes, nobody out, nobody on. Here in the bottom of the 8th, 5-4 Diamondbacks. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss, struck him out for out number 1. Bellinger goes down swinging. Valverde blew that one by him. Actually, Bellinger swung way too early. And now Pedro Guerrero, the right fielder, comes up. 1 out, bases empty. Guerrero down the third base line. Dandridge makes the play for the out. So Guerrero grounds out to third, and quickly 2 down for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the 8th. And now the catcher, Will Smith, will come up. 2 outs, bases empty. Valverde on the mound. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss, 0-1.
0-1's the count.
Great crowd here tonight. Fouled it off, 0-2. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Game 3 of the NLDS. The Diamondbacks can wrap up the series with a win. Popped up out of play. The count remains at 0-2 to Will Smith. It's a best of 5. And the Diamondbacks already lead the series 2-0. Trying for the sweep here today. Counts 0-2 to Smith with 2 outs. 0-2 pitch. Popped it up. Stays alive with an 0-2 count. For those who are tuning in, looking for the Patriots and the Jets, we'll have that game as soon as this one's over. You've not missed anything. Here's the 0-2.
Off the plate, ball 1.
Inside, 1-2. We will have NFL action after this. Here's the 1-2. Fouled off. Count remains at 1-2 to Will Smith. And now the 1-2 pitch. Up high, 2-2 to Smith. Staying alive at the plate with 2 outs. The 2-2. Stays alive, fouls it off. A long at bat for Will Smith. Two-two pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains at 2-2. We've had an extraordinary number of foul balls here today. Here's the 2-2. Fouls it off. Stays alive with a 2-2 count. Long at bat. 10 pitches already. 2 outs, bases empty. The 2-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains at 2-2. Valverde, his pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains at 2-2. It's a long at bat for Will Smith. Staying alive with a 2-2 count. And now the 2-2. Outside, full count, 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's Evil Dead. 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Count remains at 3-2. 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off. 3-2. This is amazing. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. Fouls it off again. And the count remains at 3-2. How many pitches to Will Smith now? At least 15 or so. 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Well, Valverde's getting a workout. 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Smith is going to be getting exhausted. And now the 3-2 pitch again. Fouls it off again. Stays alive with a 3-2 count. Diamondbacks up 5-4 here in the bottom of the 8th. 2 outs, bases empty. Smith at the plate with a 3-2 count. Here's the pitch. Fouls it off again. At least. The longest at bat I've ever seen. 3-2. Fouls it off again. If you're wondering why we're not in the football game yet, this is why. Finally, on an inside pitch, strikes him out. At the end of 8 complete, the Diamondbacks lead at 5-4. Game 3 of the NLDS here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the top of the 9th. Here in Game 3, Ketel Marte will lead things off for the Diamondbacks. He's the left fielder, facing Tim Belcher. Diamondbacks looking for some insurance runs now here in the top of the 9th. Here's the pitch.
Inside ball.
Up high, ball 1. Count goes to 1-0. Great crowd here tonight. Here's the 1-0. In there for a strike. 1-1. We've got NFL football up next. The Patriots and the Jets will kick off Week 14 here after this game's over. And Marte, that's going to be his 2nd home run of the day. And the Diamondbacks go up 6-4 on a solo shot by Ketel Marte. 2 home runs for him today. Diamondbacks looking for the sweep on the Dodgers in this best of 5. They lead it 2-0, and now they're up 6-4 in the top of the 9th. The Diamondbacks, if they hold on to win, they'll take on the winner of the Marlins and the Padres. That's the other NLDS going on right now. Marlins lead that series 2-1. Jonathan Broxton will come on. He'll be the new pitcher for the Dodgers. We've seen the last of Belcher. And Ray Dandridge, the 3rd baseman, he has hit 2 home runs today already also. A ground ball down the 3rd base line, foul, and the count goes to 0-1. So Marte and Dandridge both hit 2 home runs for the Diamondbacks, lead at 6-4. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. Count quickly 0-2 to Dandridge. And now the 0-2 pitch. Outside, 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
And now the 1-2 pitch. Swung and struck him out for out number 1. 1 down for the Diamondbacks here in the top of the 9th. Juddy Johnson, the 2nd baseman, comes up next. One out, bases empty. Broxton on the mound. Here's the pitch.
Ball one.
Down low, 1-0. Drysdale and Martinez warming up on the bullpen for the Dodgers. Counts 1-0 to Johnson. The 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Strike one. Count goes to 1-1. One pitch. Popped up in the air. Guerrero in right. Goes over into foul territory and makes the play for out number 2. Nice play by Pedro Guerrero. 2 down for the Diamondbacks here in the top of the 9th. And now the right fielder, Luis Gonzalez, he also has a home run today. All their home runs have been like solo shots. Fouls it off. Count goes to 0-1 to Gonzalez. Six-4, Diamondbacks up. Here's the 0-1. Swung on an inside pitch. Count goes to 0-2 to Gonzalez. 0-2 pitch. A blooper that will drop into left field. Herman will come up and throw it in. It'll be a 2-out single for Luis Gonzalez. That'll keep the inning alive for the Diamondbacks here at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. John Donaldson will come up next. He's the DH. The pitch.
That's a ball.
Outside, ball 1. We're in the top of the 9th. 6-4 Diamondbacks. 2 outs. And they have a runner at first base. That's Gonzalez at first. Here's the 1-0. Fouls it off. Evens the count at 1-1. And now the 1-1 pitch. Gets fouled off. Count goes to 1-2. Broxton trying to get out of the inning. One-two pitch. Inside. Evens the count at 2-2. They throw to first.
Oh, he's in.
And Gonzalez is back in time. Count remains at 2-2 to John Donaldson. 2-2 pitch. Inside. Full count. 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on first. 3-2 pitch. Swung and struck him out. At the end of 8.5, the Diamondbacks off a Ketel Marte's solo shot home run. They lead the Dodgers 6-4 here in Game 3 of the NLDS here at Jammin' Sports. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Kevin Ginkel will come on to close it out for the Diamondbacks. Arizona 3 outs away from advancing to the NLCS. Arizona trying to get a 3-0 sweep on the Dodgers here. LA is down to their last 3 outs of the season. Ron Say, the third baseman, will lead things off. In their first strike, 0-1. The Dodgers need 2 to tie, 3 to win. Oh, 1 pitch. Ripped past the shortstop, knocks it down. That's Lloyd. Throws to first. Not in time. That's right, the Penguin. Ron Say, the leadoff batter, is on base for the Dodgers now. The tying run will come to the plate. A nice play by Pop Lloyd, the shortstop, to knock that ball down, keeping Say at first base. And now Babe Herman comes up, the left fielder. Nobody out, runner on first. Up high, 1-0. Herman is the tying run. He's at the plate. Bottom of the 9th. Dodgers facing elimination. And now the 1-0 pitch by Ginkel. Fouled off. Count goes to 1-1 to Herman. We will have football about 10 minutes after this one's over. Patriots and Jets. They throw to first. Say back in time. He looks like the crypt keeper, yeah. Tales from the crypt. Here's the 1-1. Down the line. They're going to turn two. Dandridge throws to second and then to first. They get the double play. And the Dodgers are down to their final out. Ray Dandridge at third base. Throws down to short. Pop Lloyd, actually the second baseman, covered the bag for the Diamondbacks. That was Johnson. And down to Upton at first. So Steve Garvey comes up. 2 outs for the Dodgers. Down low. Count goes to 1-0. Dodgers down to their last out of the season. Diamondbacks 1 out away from advancing to the NLCS. The 1-0 pitch. Fouled it off. Evens the count at 1-1. One pitch. In there for a strike. Dodgers down to the last strike of the season. Counts at 1-2. 1-2 pitch. Up high. They'll leave the count at 2-2 to Garvey. Again, the Dodgers 1 strike away from being eliminated. 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. And the Diamondbacks win it. They win the series 3-0 over the Dodgers. Your final score, Arizona 6, the Dodgers 4. Once again, your final score, the Diamondbacks over the Dodgers 6-4. They win the best of 5 series 3-0 and will take on either the Marlins or the Padres in the National League Championship Series. Up next, NFL action, Patriots and Jets here at Jammin' Sports.